I'm back. I just did an apology video about last night. It was good old Halloween, and guess what? There was some things going on that day because now I have to tell you guys about how Big U's son was unalived, unfortunately, on Figueroa in the 60s here in California. Yay, good old South Central LA. You'd be surprised how many celebrities are just walking around down here, just, doing what they do, not thinking that somebody is watching or lurking after them when they really are. How sad is that, this situation that we have before us? And I'm going to tell you guys, it's sad on a different level because of the way that the loss was executed, right? So when I say that, I mean, I'm talking about the way that we're dealing with that Big U has to deal with this, right? So this is his son. Think about this. Think about this really, really, really good, real quick. Big U is currently being held in a facility here in California because of his dealings and his part that was played in unaliving someone else's son by the name of Rayshawn Williams. Okay. Now, Big U is in custody. Okay. And his son last night on Halloween was unalived on this. Well, they're not the same streets because Big U, his situation was out of both California and Las Vegas, which I don't know what makes people think that they don't work in conjunction with each other. It's California and Las Vegas. You don't think that they know to work in conjunction with each other at this point? I mean, like, for real. So with that being said, Big U has to process the fact that not only is he in there for unaliving someone's son, but in the same way, his son was just unalived. His son, Baby Huey, is gone. He in pretty much the same fashion, probably not the same devious nature, because you have to remember that Big U was acting like he was friends with Rayshawn Williams and like he was going to sign him to his label, and then he unalived the child. So we have to remember it's not in the same fashion that that he has to process this in regards to his son, but it is the pretty much the same situation in reverse. And that, my people, my dear kind people, is karma. And this, my dear kind people, is why you have to watch the things that you do in life. And also, now he has to deal with this shit while he's incarcerated. There's not gonna let him go to no funerals and all that shit because he's too dangerous. He's too dangerous in the streets. They're never going to let him. And when you are in prison, you have to pay for that. Did you know that? You have to pay to go to these funerals and stuff. You pay like $1,800 traveling fee and something to pay for the gas for the van that's gonna take you, and the staff that's gonna accompany you there, and they make you pay for that as a prisoner. You pay for that stuff in there. They're not gonna just say, oh, let's take Big U with all of his assets frozen because we believe that he did fraud and stole from the state and the government and everybody else with these little loans and stuff that he was getting from the state for these youth gangbanging programs, where he's supposed to be showing the youth not to be gangbangers, okay, which he was not doing. But they believe that he stole money for all of those things. So why would they then turn around and take the money that they believe he stole and did fraud with, okay, and that they believe that he did fraud with, and let him use that money to then put it towards going to his son's funeral after he is known for unaliving a young man and having gang activity. They're not going to even trust him to show up to the funeral without having talked to someone and trying to make an escape plan. That's the main reason why they don't let you talk to people when you're in there, and you're being processed out for any reason, So those are things that those few things that I wanted to run past y'all before I got out the details and got into this video of Big U and his son. It's really, really, this is very, very unfortunate. Okay, So Big U's son, known as Baby Huey, whose name is Jabari Henley, which is crazy because I literally have a friend named just that in that same area. So crazy. He was pew-pewed and unalived on Halloween night, Friday, October 31st, 2025, in Los Angeles. He was 34 years old. This boy was young. Let y'all watch this video. I'm just going to tell y'all right quick. I might have to put my logo in front of his flesh. I don't want to say body because that just sounds so, it just sounds wrong, but it's in front of his body, okay? So I might have to put my logo in front of his body, okay? Just want to make that very clear because this particular video, he's not blurred out. Like, you know how on the news they would blur it out, or like on a different, on different platforms, you're not allowed to have certain things showing. Well, in this video, it is showing. So I'm just want to give y'all this warning, just in case there's a slip up or something like that, and I end up having to delete that part out the video afterward or whatever, but I still want to go forward with my live. I just want to let you know the particular video that I have in front of me is not edited to where his body is blurred out. So I'm going to be putting my logo there, FYI. Here we go.
The nigga up right here. The nigga up on field. Damn. Buddy, slum. Gone, wherever that is. Gone. Was getting back in this cold. The nigga up right here.
So you guys here, and you can see, there's police in the streets with Big Huey right there. And it's an unfortunate situation. This is right outside the smoke shop on 69th and Figueroa. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm going to be 100% real with y'all. I had just passed by there yesterday. Like, I literally passed by there yesterday. I caught the bus back by there last night at about 11:34. I'm going to tell you, I saw 7 helicopters in the sky. I did. We saw, and literally Bruce called me and he was like, what's going on over there on your side? Because we're not far from each other. You know what I mean? So, but, if you're looking from a distance, you can see that there's 7 ghetto birds, police copters, chopters in the sky. And we were just looking like, what is happening? It was police zooming through the streets like, zoom. And I'm like, what's going on over here? Like, it's always something. The day before that, like a few days before that, one of the girls that's at USC buried her baby on University. And so, there were police everywhere for that. I mean, it's just, this area is just horrible. Horrible. But I had no idea that it was on account of Big U's son, what was going on last night. I want to describe to y'all the real situation, but it's so embarrassing. But I just want to tell y'all, I definitely was walking home late last night, and I definitely saw the commotion and stuff that was going on, and that shit was going on till early into this morning, y'all. No shade, all tea, no shade. That thing was going on till early this morning. It was crazy, and I was like, okay, they turning up for Halloween. That is not the tea at all. Okay, that was not clock tea at all. This is unfortunately what was happening. Now, Big U is in there trying to reach out to family and friends and all this other stuff, and having to process the fact that his child just got unalived. Y'all know Big U had a good relationship with his children. He has a good relationship with his children. His son is, playing the football and all the other stuff like that. He's actually did his thing when it came to being a father to his children. So the situation right now is a sad one. I'm sure he's in there tripping. I'm sure he's probably about to trip out on a couple of people, end up in PC or the hole, or those are the same thing. Believe it or not, they're the same thing. Somebody say he's in PC, he's just volunteering to be in the hole. Somebody say he in the hole, he just not volunteering to be in PC. It is the same thing. Okay. But I'm just saying, I'm sure that he's going to have to take a moment and he's going to have to process this. And this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. You got to feel ashamed for the rest of your freaking life that you missed those moments with your son. Trust me, I speak from experience. Y'all know I just got out of prison. My father died while I was in there. He raised me. I have deep regret for the fact that I was in prison when my father passed away. Very, very, so much regret that it sits with me every day. It sits with me every single day. There was a moment of comfort, though, where I felt like my dad was with me in there in spirit and I could feel his presence with me. I had that moment. And so hopefully, not that I like Big U or anything, but hopefully he can have these moments of, knowing that his child would have loved him and wanted to comfort him and woo-de-woo. But you still have to deal with the fact that you sitting your ass in a prison while your son is out here unalived in the streets with the police rolling his body around while you are helpless sitting in there not able to do anything because you wanted to unalive somebody else's son. These are the repercussions of the streets, okay? This is what you wanted to get into and what you wanted your child to be into. Named your child Baby Huey. That's sick. That's sick when you have your father's hood name to follow after and then you die before he does. That's sick. That's sick work. Sick work. Real name, Jabari Henley. Jabari Henley, 34 years old, rapper, known for his feature on the song with Hood Rich Pablo Juan and Kenny Beats called Hood. He was Big U's son. He and Stacey Henley's brothers, big brother Dayan Henley, which is the linebacker's son, and then they have two other siblings, Michael and Cherish. So it's Baby Huey, who's Jabari, Diane Henley, and then there is Michael and Cherish. Unfortunately, he was fatally unalived 11 o'clock, like I said, after leaving a smoke shop near the intersection of 69th Street and Figueroa. So he was off of Florence and Fig in South LA, the Host Road. Never seen a body seller. We don't call him that. I never seen a body seller be totally buck naked until I came back to California this time around. Like, I don't remember the whores on Figueroa's being stark naked, like nude. When and where did that start happening? Anyway, so according to witnesses, he was walking up to a vehicle, and then as he was walking up to the vehicle, somebody inside the vehicle opened fire on him. He started running and ended up collapsing. The suspect drove away in a vehicle and is still at large. Nobody knows who it is. A lot of these gangbangers out here in LA, they get away with this stuff for years because it's happening so much. They don't know who to title, what to title, who to title what. It had to be some phone calls that they could track like they did with Big U. And I really believe that this happened because of Big U. I'm sure he knows that it did. I really believe that this happened because of Big U, and I'm sure he knows that it did. Unfortunately, this is Baby Huey that we're dealing with from LA. These are the streets. Like, this is the bricks. It's LA, Chicago, Georgia, and New York. It's bad. It's bad. Okay? Period. Crazy part is whenever you're walking up to somebody's car, that's the reason why you even got to be careful with road rage around here, y'all. I'm telling y'all, please be careful around these parts. Because you will, listen, these people don't have no regard for life nowadays. I don't know what happened. I think everybody desensitized by social media or something. Something's wrong. Everybody's desensitized by social media. Don't nobody take life serious no more. Everything has got daggone messed up out here in these streets. Ain't nothing good out here in these streets. Okay? I think it was absolutely normal for him to be on the streets at 11 o'clock in Los Angeles on Halloween. That is normal. It is not abnormal. And it just makes you think and wonder and assume and, the circumstances in which he was outside under. and the circumstances in which he was unalived under. And the worst part that I didn't like is the police just rolling his body, just rolling it and rolling his body over the left, right, left, right, left, right. Leave that. Can y'all call the medical? Call the people, the EMT and the medical examiner. Please stop rolling that boy body like that. That's crazy. Please stop doing that. Okay, no tea, no shade. Please stop. That's crazy. The LAPD is a freaking mess. Not worse than the LVMPD, though. Okay? Just want to point that out. Because that's where Mr. Henley, is currently headed. When I say Mr. Henley, I'm talking about the oldest one. The starter of all of this jazz, who is Big U himself. Okay, the motive for this unaliving is unknown at this point. Police have not confirmed whether it was even gang related at this point. However, Loose Cannon said that he believed that Jabari knew the person that unalived him. So this is what Loose Cannon is saying. Loose Cannon is Big U's nephew. Okay, so Loose Cannon is also incarcerated at this time and is probably hurting as well. Probably in shock, like, oh my gosh, this and that is happening. It's starting. But anyway, yeah, Loose Cannon believes that Baby Huey knew who his Schuster was because he walked up to the car. So real quickly, Big U, Eugene Henley, the father, is currently incarcerated on federal charges, including racketeering and fraud. He just learned of his son's death from his nephew. They both expressed heartbreak over the tragedy. Big U is absolutely unhappy with this. Of course, as he should be. Who is about to be happy about their child being unalived right now? Why you sitting in there? Period. Why you sitting out there? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a hard pill to swallow. I'm sure he felt like, man, I could have protected my son if I was out. If anything, I should have been out to tell that N-word not to go here, not to go over there. Man, he know better than to be in that area. He know better than, man, he's supposed to be done. He ain't even supposed to be from, you know what I mean? All of that stuff. All of that stuff that you have to deal with. But yeah, situation, very tragic indeed. All right, y'all, let me let y'all go. I got to get my day started and my life together. I appreciate you guys for joining me for this live.